have a local here, and he's cooking braised prawns. Braised prawns. Doesn't that look delicious?
This is his self-selected dish.
That's right. This is specifically from the Shandong cuisine, one of the oldest and most influential cuisines in all of Chinese history. It's a 4,000-year tradition in the Shandong cuisine, and we're seeing it live, cooked right in front of us with these beautiful prawns here on the big screen.
Shandong actually has the most variety of types of food and cooking methods. You know, its food is known for its salty, savory flavor, but also for its tender and crispy texture, which you just saw in the prawns. They're probably very crispy on the outside, yet tender on the inside.
And if you've had an opportunity to keep yourself dry out there in the weather and had an opportunity to look and see what we're doing here, NTD Television has transformed Times Square into the ancient Tang capital city, Chang'an. It is a unique Chinese architecturally inspired cooking stations and servers dressed in period-inspired costumes. Aren't these mobile kitchens amazing?
They're really beautiful, actually.
Yes, they were inspired by the pagodas of China's Tang Dynasty. Designer Wei Jianchi and architect Brandon Liu and engineer Steve Chen created these phenomenal portable cooking stations that marries both ancient art and the modern-day engineering, and we are putting them to the test in this weather, aren't we, Tyson?
We sure are. We also have built these incredible sedans? Sedans,
right, the custom-made sedans that the servers use. But let's take a moment to head into Bikujiang. He's frying up the prawns right now after braising them. So it seems they're absorbing all of that flavor right now. We can see them soaking in all that flavor. And as the bubbles go, our chef is looking at those bubbles because he's judging the heat and the timing. That's what the chefs use to judge their heat, is the way the oil is reacting to the heat.
Here's an example of how they often use a combination of different levels of heat throughout the cooking process, because he actually already cooked the prawns before he's cooking them here. He took them out of the wok once, so he's cooked them once. And I guess he wanted to make the flavor, the skin very crispy.
That's
and now
right.
he's put them in, and you see it, and now it had, before they looked very white,
That's a very common thing you'll see in Chinese culinary arts, is that food is cooked 2 and 3 times, taken out, put back in, so it's seasoned in all these different ways. One of the reasons is to get multiple textures, so that you get to have multiple different experiences all in one bite. This tradition has so many secrets and so many pearls, and despite the rain, we're having a great time learning and experiencing this wonderful art. So we have a lot of competitions and a lot of things NTD is involved in promoting traditional Chinese culinary arts and culture. We have other competitions as well as co-sponsoring the world's premier Chinese performing dance ensemble, SHEN Performing Arts, who perform around the world. Let's watch a short video on SHEN. Welcome back. We're live in Times Square for NTD's 4th International Chinese Culinary Competition. We are in round 2 of the finals featuring the Shandong cuisine.
Yes, actually, we've been given a number of samplings of some of these dishes. It looks like the chefs are really planning out all of their foods to get them perfectly cooked, and I can tell why these chefs have made it to the finals.
That's right, and they only have 15 minutes left. 15 minutes left in their long journey to compete for the gold prize. This is the end of the second round for the Shandong cuisine. It's the last chance for these Shandong chefs to show their best.
Yes, we're looking at Kejiang Bi, who is right here from Flushing, New York. Hopefully we can go over and find out where he cooks so we can get some of his food. He's still simmering the prawns, which he's braising the prawns, which is his self-selected dish, and I think he's now completing his sauté top-fried tofu.
That's right.
He's getting it all ready. He's getting his wok ready.
So the Chinese culinary arts have a deep history in the culture, and not just the food and the horticulture, but deep in the principles. Chinese people believe that mind and matter are one and the same, and if you have a good heart and a positive attitude, it will show in your work. And that's why we always love our moms cooking the best, because there's so much love in it. Therefore, a good attitude and a peaceful heart helps one make good food.
Yes, Chinese people really believe that mind and body are one and the same.
That's right. And in the mind and body, we have to have a lot of balance. Balance is very important as well. For example, when you want to bring out the sweetness in a dish, you need to add salt as well. And salt will help make the sweet taste even more rich. When you have the hot dishes, you need to have elements in the dish to kind of balance out the spiciness. So this balance that we see in the ancient principles of yin and yang found in the Taoist culture, we see permeating through all the arts, as well as the culinary arts that we're seeing today.
Yes, actually, Lao Tzu, who is a very famous figure in Chinese history, said, managing a country is like cooking a dish. Because cooking is so complicated, there are so many different factors involved in it, and one needs to be very balance themselves in order to balance out those different factors so that the dish comes out perfectly and pleases everyone at the table.
Well, we just watched a short video on SHEN, but NTD creates more competitions than just the one we're watching here today, don't we, Tai-san? We have a couple of others happening in the city too.
Yes, we do. We have a number of competitions throughout the city. We have a martial arts competition coming up in October at Baruch College, right around the corner. And we also have on October 30th at Carnegie Hall, we have a vocal competition where this is an example of the mission of the competitions is not only to bring forward traditional Chinese culture, but just traditional culture in and of itself, and really create a bridge between East and West. So at our vocal competition, you'll actually see some Western style singing and vocalists performing at Carnegie Hall.
Traditionally, the Chinese, one of their main characteristics of their culture is to cherish civilization and to cherish the beautiful things that come from civilizations. And that doesn't only mean Chinese culture. Many cultures have other beautiful things to share, and NTD TV is about promoting all the beautiful things in civilization for Chinese people to enjoy them inside and outside of China.
Yes, and we're now looking at Shihai Wang from Pennsylvania preparing his dishes.
Welcome back. We're live in Times Square for round 2 of the finals. We're featuring the Shandong cuisine, and these chefs have less than 10 minutes remaining while they rush to complete their dishes, competing for a grand prize of $10,000. This is really exciting.
In cooking station number 1, we see Kai Jianbi from Flushing, New York, pouring his sauce that he's just prepared onto his braised prawns, and it looks, they're looking at not only how the food is going to taste and how he's prepped everything, but how it looks, and that appearance, doesn't that look like a piece of art?
It really does. 80% of their marks go to the appearance, the taste, the texture of the dish, as well as the color and the aroma, seeing the cutting skills. There's a lot to it.
Yes, and here we're looking at Shuhai Wang from Pennsylvania, and he's completing his sauteed tofu ta-fried, which is, I think they make this a required dish because it's actually, although they use very simple ingredients for it, it's actually quite difficult to master. You have to be very patient in order to get the wok heat correct so that it's a non-stick wok.
That's right. You were talking a little earlier about a non-stick wok. The only experience I had from that was buying a Teflon pan. But watching these chefs use all of these ancient principles to make all of these different things happen has been such an amazing educational experience.
He's dipping it into the egg and then dropping it into the wok. And at the end of it, we'll see it all kind of blends together to create one patty, which he'll slice up.
Oh, this is that spicy tofu, I believe.
Well, it has, to make it for several servings. He's moving fast. He
That's
looks
right.
calm, though.
They have to cook one portion for the judges, but they actually have to cook, each dish has to be enough for 10 people. So it's not that they're just cooking a little bit for the judge. They have to cook enough for 10 people, and they're being judged on that. A lot of the chefs coming today are actually from Taiwan, who have competed previously weeks ago in the first round of the preliminaries that took place in Taiwan, in Kaohsiung, in a stadium. There was over 72 contestants competing in that event, and 9 of them were able to advance to the finals today.
Look at how this, well, we just switched. Now he's breaking, Kujang B is now breaking up. He's taken his tofu out of the wok, and now he's breaking it up. So he's getting it ready to serve to the judges, I assume.
That's correct.
Yeah, here he's putting it on the
preparing it all out
plate.
for us to try.
It looks golden.
That's right.
It looks golden.
We're approaching the 5-minute mark. Judges and contestants, please take note that there is only 5 minutes remaining in this final round of the Shandong cuisine. In this round, we've been able to witness one of the most traditional and old culinary styles in all of Chinese history. It dates back 4,000 years. That's 4,000 of the 5,000 years of the entire Chinese history. It is the most influential and largest cuisine with the largest body of dishes and cooking methods. It's the most influential of all the Chinese cuisines throughout the history.
Let's see how our crowd is doing out there, shall we?
Let's do it. Over you, Cece.
Hello everyone out there, I'm Cece Lee from Food Paradise, and with me here I have Bruce from Ohio. How are you doing, Bruce?
I'm doing well, thank you.
What do you think about today's competition?
I think that it's wonderful. The food is terrific. It's very fast and furious.
Oh, I like that. You know, our mission is to promote traditional Chinese culture, food, and philosophy. Do you like that?
I love that. A great mission.
What do you think about today's food so far? Is it different than what you usually order?
I usually order fried dumplings and General Tao's chicken. This is very good. Everything I've tasted has been wonderful.
You know, I love those as well, but you know, indeed, General Tao's chicken is not Chinese food. It's invented in America to adapt it to the Western palate. But however, I know it's delicious, right?
My bad. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Bruce. Now, let's get back to you guys.
2 minutes remaining in this final round while the judges look and taste. They're looking at the appearance, the texture of the dish, as well as the color. Has the chef been able to cook and get the right colors out of these different ingredients?
Yes.
There's a lot of different factors that they're being judged on.
And I've gotten to taste a number of the dishes, and they will definitely blow you away. If you want to taste them, head over to booth number 4. It says NTD's International Chinese Culinary Competition, and you can purchase a ticket to come inside to the center of this area and taste some of these master chefs' creations.
We are approaching the 1 minute mark, the last minute of the finals for the Shandong cuisine, and we are going to welcome the president of the Chamber of Commerce of the Chinese Chamber of Commerce here in New York. Professor Cecilia Xu is going to be coming to sound the gong for the final round of the Shandong cuisine. There is 1 minute remaining. Judges and contestants, we have 1 minute remaining in this second round of the finals here, featuring the Shandong cuisine.
Yes, we're going to have Justin Yu hit that gong at the end of this. Justin Yu. And it'll be it's all very exciting. We're all very proud of the fact that we're really putting the center spotlight onto the authentic Chinese culinary art.
That's right. Live here in Times Square, we've married the modern engineering and the ancient Chinese arts and brought them together here, bridging the East and West. Let's join together to count down the final seconds of round 2 of the finals.
9,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and walks down.